Okay, this would be problem 726. Now in this one, what they're asking us to do is to find out what this h value is, so we have to find out what the overall height is. Now the easiest way to do this probably is break this up into two components here, where this will be part number 1, this will be part number 2. So we just do the same thing we've always been doing. The area of 1 is actually going to be 12, which is the base, times the height, and that's 12h. The area of 2 is going to be the base, which is 12, times the height, which is 10, divided by 2, because it's triangular in shape, and that's going to be 60 square inches. x1 is going to, or excuse me, we don't need x1. All we're looking for here is y. So let's get that out of there. So really just concentrate on y on this one, no need for the x. So y1 is going to be 10 inches to get to here, and then h divided by 2. So it's 10 inches plus h divided by 2. And that's all we need to say for that. y2 is going to be 10 times 2/3. Okay, so that's to get that height, that we get the most of the material or the mass is up on top, so we're going to take 2/3, and it's 2/3 of 10, which is 6.67 inches. So if we were looking at the calculation is y bar equals the area times the y value for that part plus the area of the next one, and so on. Well, we already know that this thing is 10 inches for the y bar. We know that. And then what we can say is we know that the area is 12h, and then it's times this 10 plus the height divided by 2, plus the area of the second one, 60, times y bar of the second section there, 6.67 inches. All of that divided by what? The area of the first one, 12h, plus 60, which is the area of the second one. So when we go to simplify that a little bit, we would say that 10 equals 120. That's 12 times 10, 120h, plus we have to do 12 times 1/2, which is 6, right? But then the h is the h times h, so it's h squared. Okay, and then plus 400, which is this 60 times 6.67. We divide that by the areas, we got 12h. Let's see, plus 60. Okay. Well, let's see then. We need to do what? Simplify that a little bit more. So let's see, what do we got? So we want to get rid of this 12h times 60, so let's just draw a line down here. To get rid of that 12h times 60, you multiply both sides by that, right? So it's 12h plus 60 times 10 inches takes care of this first side, equals 12h times 10, well, that's 120 h plus 6h squared plus 400, and that's going to be it, right? So now we can take that one step farther and we'd say that this over here is 12h times 10 leaves you with 120h plus 600 equals the 120h plus 6h squared plus 400. Sorry. Okay. So then what? Well, we can note that there's 120 here and 120 here, so if we put that on the other side of the equation, that's going to cancel out, isn't it? And then we could take the 400 over here, and that we'd subtract that out. So when we get done with that equation, okay, so the 120s cancel out right here. 600 minus the 400. So we end up with what, 200. And let's go one step farther. We take this, and if we load this up on the other side, that's 120 minus 120, so we're left with 600 equals 6h squared plus 400. So we take the 400 to the other side, subtract it out off the 200, or excuse me, the 600, and we've got 200 equals 6h squared. Okay, so then we would go one step farther. We want to get rid of that h squared. Let's see, so we would do what? Divide both sides by 6. So you end up with 33.33 on the left and h squared. Okay, so we go in there then, and to get h, take the square root of 33.33, and that equals 5.77 inches equals h. And that's how you would solve for problem number 26. So it really wasn't as bad as it might look.